Hello, I'm Joseph,
I'm Brandy.
and today we're gonna learn the candlestick. That was a candlestick. I don't think I have an emoji for that, but just in case I don't, that's what it is, and if I do, you're about to be dazzled. So, the candlestick perm. Now, the reason why it's called a candlestick is normally with any kind of perm, your rods are gonna go horizontal. But with a candlestick perm, all your rods are gonna go vertical, up and down. Um, I was gonna say it like my head. um, so they all go up and down. The purpose of this is you get what I call drop curls, cascading curls. The easiest celebrity to remind you of is like Shirley Temple. I don't even know if y'all are old enough to know who she is. But you get those ringlets because the curls actually start at the root and they form going down. So this isn't a very popular perm. Not a lot of people get it. But it is out there. I've done them once or twice, maybe a couple of times in my career. But it's good to know. It's good to understand like different ways of rolling it. A lot of the times, like when clients have shorter hair, like myself, and they do the roller sets, a lot of them like it to go off the face. So sometimes I will do candlestick rods right here on the side, and then everything else rolled like regular. Just so you know, you can switch up different perms. So like you typically on a perm with people with shorter hair, I do the straight back on top. I will candlestick it on the sides and I'll bricklay it in the back. So I'm using 3 different perms on one client because she has a wider head, she wears her hair going back, and she likes it off her face in the front. So you can do it multiple different ways, but you just need to understand that if they have long hair like Brandy, like even her length, you need to understand that the curls aren't going to go down, they're going to cascade down. So that's the point of a candlestick. It's super easy to do. It's the same. You don't have the 9 section. All it is you just need to make sure, just like a regular perm, you're just switching everything up. Before, like a bricklay, we're making sure everything's as long as a rod and as wide as a rod. With a candlestick, we're doing the same thing. We want to make sure all our sections are as long as the rod vertically and then still as wide as the rod. So all your rods are going to go standing up and down. The other trick is you want them to intersect each other. So you don't want them to be parallel, lined up. You want them to actually go in between each other. So this way you don't have any lines. So your client isn't divided into 3 sections in the back plus all these little sections going up and down. Because if you roll them all lining up, it's literally, you're gonna see slices going horizontally and slices going vertically in her head. So if you can stagger them that they can bleed into each other, it all just looks like one, like a whole bunch of cascading curls going down. You don't see any lines or anything like that. So that's the only 2 tricks to candlestick perm. Anything you want to add?
It's just becoming, I've seen it become more popular recently. A lot of people, they'll do candlestick and then they'll piggyback it as well. I mean, the possibilities for all these perms are endless. It's just your imagination and what you can come up with.
Exactly. Perms are more creative than most people give them credit for. Just realize that you can think outside the box and just have fun with it. Cool. So I think it's me. I'm going to demo how to do it. Okay, so let's light it up. All right, guys. It's me. This is my panza. So what we're gonna do is I changed the camera angle because I noticed the last couple of videos you don't see the bottom of her head. My bad. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna demonstrate a candlestick perm. So what a candlestick perm is the rods actually go vertical. They go up and down, hence the word candlestick. So instead of placing your rods horizontally, you're gonna be placing them vertically up and down. So what kind of curl you get from this is you get a spiral curl. So instead of your curls going under, they're gonna hang down and free fall like a spiral, a beach wave, anything like that. So it's a different kind of parting. So what I discovered in the long run is you do your 3 sections on top like you would do a 9 section, but you only perm the middle one. So I put my rods on here first, just like that. I leave everything else freestanding down because it's going to be a different sectioning, different partings, and I'm going to demo how to do that. Basically, all you're going to do is take the length of a rod and you're going to go all the way around, up and down. working your way all the way around the head. So at one point, I'm going to stop the video after I do like 3 rods because you're going to get the idea. And then I'm going to show you how to continue on, show you different parts. Like I'll stop it, show you how to do the sides, things like that. So it's going to be a lot of stopping and fast forwarding, but it's just because it's going to be very repetitive and I understand that y'all get it. So let's start. So move her over. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to section some of this hair out of the way. So first I start off with a clean section, just straight across. And then the rest of this hair is just going to be pinned up. So determining the right size, you're going to get a rod. Okay. On the rod, I don't know how good the quality is on this camera, especially using right rods. It's textured here and it's textured down here. And there's a smooth spot here and a smooth spot here. So what we're going to do is we're going to hold this rod vertically up and down. And we're going to cut our slice right here at the first smooth mark. Okay. So what I mean by that is I'm going to place the roller here on the neckline. I'm going to find that smooth spot. Look, I already nailed it. I've done this for so long. And so this is where I want it to start. And we're going to take it all the way across. Make sure it's nice and straight. So it's the length of a rod. So I can hold it on this side over here. Find it, and it's right here. So easy peasy, lemon squeezy. All right, I'm gonna turn her over here so y'all can see it. All right, so what I'm gonna do is now it's just like a regular perm, except I hold everything vertically. So instead of holding things horizontally, I'm gonna hold them vertically. So it's the same rules. I wanna make sure it's as wide as a roller because it's already as long as a roller. I'm gonna draw a line going straight down. After I get my section, I'm going to over direct it towards me. So I'm going to take my comb, over direct it towards me, get my end paper. Now this is hard because the hair is layered. So it's going to be shorter down here and longer up here. So if you see how it's short and then the pieces are longer up here, like it's literally like a slant, you might need to use double papers. Or you might just need to wet it down. If you wet it, that paper will stick like glue. So you need to go slow until all your ends are in that paper. Then you're gonna get your perm rod. You're gonna take it slow, because if you start off too fast, hair will drop. Okay? The trick is to keep it over directed. If you move it, it's gonna lose its tension and it's gonna hang. So I keep my perm rod over here. I use my good amount of tension and I roll it. So I'm pulling and rolling, pulling and rolling. And so I get here right on the head. Once I made it, I get my perm snapper thingier. And then I stick it right there on the head, going up and down. Okay? I repeat this process, this whole entire row. So I'll show you one more. So measure the width. Get my hair, over direct it, get my perm paper. Notice how my comb stays in my hand. I never put my comb down. I keep it, take my time. It's a perm that you can't necessarily rush, but again, your time is money. This is a specialty perm, so you'll be offering the service at a larger cost because it's going to take a little more of your time. All right, so there's my second one. All right, I'm gonna continue this pattern the whole way through. So I'm just gonna go ahead and roll. My stomach might get in the way. I'm gonna fast forward it, and then I'm gonna show you what to do when I get to my second row, okay? Because the rest of this is just pretty repetitive. So I'm just gonna continue working, and y'all can just watch. So first row done, going straight across. So what we do is we get our second row. So now with our second row, what we want to do is we want to take half the length of a roller. So literal half the length of a roller. So I'm going to measure using the side of my head, holding my rod up, taking half, which should bring me roughly to about the top of the ear. So make my line go straight across. So ideally it should reach the other side of the top of the ear. So now it's going to be almost like a candlestick bricklay. So what I mean by that, I'm going to re-wet my hair, is when I do this second row, I'm not going to roll it to the top of the roller. I'm going to focus more on this bottom half. So when I roll them, I don't want them to line up. So what I mean by that is I don't want this roller to sit just like this on top of this one or over here, whatever is easier to see. What I want them to do is I want them to sit in between each one of the rollers, okay? So the process is still the same. I'm gonna measure the width, hold it out here, roll it, and they should sit in between all the rollers. So initially, instead of it looking like this, it's gonna look like this, okay? So I'm gonna roll this row. Again, we're gonna fast forward it, and then I'm gonna show you what the finished look looks like, and then I'll roll the rest of the head, okay? So that's what they're supposed to look like on the second row, just sitting in between each one of those rollers. And then we continue that pattern. I'm gonna take probably like 2 more rows. Like I'm gonna cut this right here into 2 more half. So you'll have 2 rows on each side, not just one going all the way across. So I'll cut 2 more going all the way around, and that should complete my candlestick. So I'm gonna do that really quick, just to show y'all what the finished product looks like. So we're gonna stop there, only because I don't feel like we have to do the whole entire thing. So you get the idea. So we do this half of the head. So as you can see, everything's going up and down, and they're interweaving with each other. Sorry, let me turn off this music. I didn't even think about it. They're all interweaving in between each other. So that is what a candlestick looks like. And when you're done, you saturate each rod. Like I said, when this is all done, they will resemble little loops, little waves going down like a spiral curl. This could actually replace a spiral perm. If you're not into using the big hoop rods, you get the same effect. So it's super cool. Doesn't take too long. All of this right here, rolling alone, only took me about 18 minutes. And I only have like one section left over here. So altogether about 20, 25. This should take a little longer because it's a different direction. You have to hold your hands differently, things like that. But that's why we charge a little extra for this. So this is a candlestick perm. I was dying. Alright, now that I taught you how to do a candlestick perm, I felt like I said that weird. Candlestick perm. Now you should know what to do. You learned that it was super easy. It's just the same concept, except you're going up and down. The key is still the same. You want to make sure that everything is measured because everything will have a home and everything will sit in there perfectly. It's okay if they're a little slanted. Like I noticed my first row, they're a little slanted. It's just because of the shape of the head. Y'all need to understand that you're working with a curved surface. It's not a flat surface. So sometimes perm rods are going to do what they need to do. If they're on there correctly, going the direction that they need to go, you got it all the way rolled to the base, your bands are done correctly, then you have nothing to worry about. Because the bases are weird. But if it's like hanging on for dear life, it's not even connected to the head, it's totally wrong, then we have problems. So just make sure that you're sectioning right, everything else. We can't control people's shape of the head. It would be just like if we try to put perm rods on a balloon, they're not all going to sit on there perfectly. You're going to have some that are barely touching this area and touching this area because it's a rounded area. Cool. Other than that, real simple. Rules are still the same. Cleanse the hair before, roll it, waving solution, rinse, neutralize, rinse, and then they're good to go. Anything else you want to add to it?
No, it looked really good.
She lying. Alright guys, well y'all have a great day. Thanks for tuning in and have fun candlesticking.